Now, before we move on and talk some more about how to edit pads you place in your drawing, let me go on a rant for a couple of minutes. And by that I mean, let me explain a couple of very annoying non-features of Express PCB Plus. Well, at least they're annoying to me. Now, this will be the equivalent of me yelling at kids to get off my lawn, and just like that fun and inspiring activity, I'm going to show you something about the program you really need to know. Now, you probably know that although I really like Express PCB Plus, with a few caveats, I still feel that Express PCB Classic is a more user-friendly program, and I do kind of make my feelings known about this in my videos. So here are a couple of things I really dislike about the hole or pad tool. When you place a pad or a via into your drawing like this, it will always insert with the last values that were used or entered into the data fields in the hole and pad box, diameter of pad and diameter of finished hole, or the hole and pad box drop-down menu, and also in the size and position box, height and width data fields. Now, this is because Express PCB Plus does not remember different values for different types of pads, or if it does, that feature does not work for me. So let me insert a couple of more hole with circular pads, and I'll make them my standard 0.56 inch outer diameter with a 0.029 inch hole. And I'll do that just like this. And let me zoom in on these a little bit so we can see them a little bit better. Now I'm going to deselect that last pad by pressing the Escape key twice. Now, say I want to insert a via into my drawing. The first thing I'll do is I'll go back to the hole or pad button like this and select it. And then I'll go up to the hole or pad box on the ribbon and select via. Now note that the outer diameter and the hole diameter data fields are still saying 0.056 and 0.029 inches. If I clicked on my drawing right now, my via would have the same values as that last hole with circular pad that I inserted. So what I have to do right now is I have to come up and I have to use the two drop-down menus like this to select an outer diameter of 0.037 and an inner diameter of 0.020, or use the drop-down menu like this by the via button, or I could come up here and I could click in there, do a Control A, and then enter 0.037 and hit enter. Okay, I'll now put a couple of vias in just like this, 1, 2, 3. Now, say I want to insert another hole with circular pad just like the first one. Now, I'll deselect that last via, as you can see it's still selected, by pressing the Escape key twice. And the reason I have to press the Escape key twice will be shown in a moment. And now I'll go back and select the hole with pad tool, and then come up here and select hole with pad. And just like before, you'll notice that the outer and inner diameters are the same as my via. Now, if I click on the board like this, my new hole with circular pads have the same inner and outer dimensions as the via I just inserted. So this means that if I insert a bunch of vias, pads, or whatever with a diameter of 0.037 and a hole diameter of 0.020, or whatever values I used, and then change to a hole with pad, even though the last hole with pad I inserted before I inserted the vias had a diameter of 0.56 and a hole of 0.029, when I insert the new hole with pad, it will be of the same diameter as the via I just inserted. Now, this is definitely not a feature. It would be nice if Express PCB Plus remembered the last value that you used for each type of pad or via. Next, and most annoying of all, well, at least to me, the last pad you insert remains selected. Let me move the cursor out of the way, and you can see that that last pad is still highlighted. This means that if I insert a bunch of hole with circular pads, and then I want to insert a hole with long pad, if I don't deselect the last hole with pad that I inserted when I click on the hole with long pad button, the last hole with circular pad will change to a hole with long pad. Now, there might be a good reason for it to keep the last pad selected, and if there is, well, I have absolutely no idea what that reason is. Now, I find this to be the worst non-feature of the hole and pad tool. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so let me place a couple of round pads. I'll put 3 right here, just like that. Now I want to place a square pad with a hole. So I'll go up to this box here and select it, and my round pad changes to a square pad. And like I mentioned, the reason for this is because when you are placing pads, the last pad you placed stays selected. Let me place 2 more square pads. See, after I place the last square pad, it is still highlighted. Now, I think the program assumes you would want to change the last pad to something different and leaves it highlighted, maybe? Or the person who wrote the program just missed this little flaw. So in order to place a different pad, I have to hit Escape twice and then select Hole and Pad again, and then select my new type of pad. And as we've shown before, another way to deselect the last pad you inserted is, after you place the pad, you right-click, scroll down, and select None from the drop-down menu. Now, the same thing happens if I place a pad and then want to make the next pad bigger or smaller. Let me erase what I have here. So let me insert a couple of hole with round pads. We'll put 3 there again, just like that. Now, if I want to change to a larger pad size for the next pad that I want to insert, I can come up here to the outer diameter drop-down menu, and let's pick, say, 0.1 inch. And when I do that, the last pad I placed becomes 0.1 inch. So let me undo that. So what that means is what you have to do before you change to a new pad diameter or pad type is hit Escape twice or right-click and select None, like this. Then go over and select the Hole or Pad button again. Then, if you're changing pad type, select the new pad type, and then go to the outer diameter and inner hole diameters and select your new value. So we'll select 0.1 and 0.46. And now I can place a larger pad. Now these are just a lot of unnecessary moves. And if you're not paying attention, you will change a pad you didn't want to change, and then you will have to go back and change that pad back to the pad values that you wanted. Or worse, you don't catch the fact that you changed that last pad accidentally and then find the error later when you are checking your design. Again, a lot of unnecessary moves. And I'll say it once again, I do not understand why you cannot just right-click after placing your last pad and have the Hole or Pad tool just stop inserting pads, deselect the last pad, and keep the Hole or Pad tool selected just like every other tool does. Now, the fact that it doesn't work this way makes 0 sense to me. Now, to be fair, if I use the Select None option, ExpressPCB Plus keeps the Hole or Pad tool selected for you, and that removes one step from what I'm talking about. So just as an example of what I'm talking about, here is ExpressPCB Classic. Now, if I want to place a pad, I come over here to the Pad button, like that. And now I have this drop-down menu up here, and I can go find the pad that I want. And in this case, we will take this one. And I'll come down here and I'll start placing pads in my drawing. And as you can see, after I place a pad, the pad is not highlighted. So now if I want to place, say, a square pad, I can just come up here, scroll down to Square Pads, click on it, and now I can start placing square pads. And I can do this because the last round pad that I placed did not remain highlighted after I placed it. Now, if I wish to change a pad to something else, I can then go to the Select tool using the S key, just like that. Come over, double-click on the pad that I want to change, and I get this menu with all of my pad style choices. Here are all of my choices. I can also set the orientation of the pad. I can place the pad using XY numbers, and I have the ability to give the pad a pin number if I want. Now, this is a much easier way to handle pad placement in my opinion. But in Classic, I do not have buttons for each type of pad. I have to go up to the drop-down menu like this, and then scroll through and search for the type of pad that I want. And yeah, this is an annoyance, I guess. So score 1 for ExpressPCB Plus for having the 11 pad selection buttons. And I've mentioned this before, but I want to mention it again. In ExpressPCB Plus, if I change tools to say the trace or part, or let's pick the line, it will deselect the last pad that you placed. Alrighty, I think the information I presented here is important for you to know. The way ExpressPCB Plus handles the insertion of pads is a bit clunky in my opinion. So what I showed you here might just keep you from yelling at the computer screen. Now, there is also one big glaring problem with the trace tool as well, but that is for another video. So in the next video, we will discuss some more about how to edit your pad. And by that, I mean a pad in your drawing, not where you live. So hopefully, we'll see you soon.